Good evening YouTube, this is the Twisted here, and as promised I've decided to upload my latest Type 59 game, which was special today as I somehow managed to earn 1500 experience and 182,000 credits on a loss. Now you'll probably see in a moment that my team evidently weren't the greatest team you could have hoped for, as I ended up pretty much solely up in the B2, B3 area on my own, whilst everybody else was higgledy-piggledy around the map. Now, I can't lie, I wasn't not exactly the greatest player, but it was a bit of a record for me this game, and I'm thoroughly impressed with myself. There's not much commentary to be done, to be honest with you, as it was pretty much idiots shooting at us that weren't really effective, aiming at any weak points, just shooting the front of me turret. You will notice that I do have to switch to gold at some point. This is mainly because I noticed that I'm solely on my own and I needed to get rid of the enemy tanks coming at us as quick as possible, but what can I say, generally I don't, as a rule of thumb, use gold, as I can quite easily aim for a weak spot rather than just shoot gold. However, RNG was not being happy to us, and as such I decided to use gold to eliminate RNG completely. But as you can see here, where the rest of my team's gone, there is an Indian Panzer that's decided to stop behind us, and I'm pretty much left on my own. So Panzer 38 shoots us, so I decided to reverse into him as well as shooting him. And there's the first one down. He wasn't really the cleverest of people, but as you can see, I've got KV5 and a T150 and a SU100Y off to my left, KV5 and a Tiger coming at me. So the Indian Panzer hopefully can hold that flank, or I thought he could. Meanwhile, with T38, Hellcat and Panzer 38 N8 are still camped at Golf 4. Not very useful, but not much I could do about that, unfortunately, as you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, as the saying goes. So I'll have to try and keep myself hull down now from the Tiger, that is in that general location over there, and the KV5 off to my right. Meanwhile, the Indian Panzer is still sat back there, although he is holding the flank. And as you can see, the Panzer 38 NA is the only tank to have moved from the sniping spot to try and take on a KV5. The T34 TR8 Heavy and the Hellcat have still refused to move. So for the time being, it looks like it's just going to be it's pretty much just me up here on my own, which I thought I was going to be dead rather rapidly. I was also quite worried about the artillery that they had, but he didn't seem to be interested in me, which is more likely because my team decided to push around the corner of the valley, which was never really a good idea. So I'm taking a few hits, as you can see, nothing too severe at the moment, although the Tiger is coming towards us, so I need to try and eliminate him as I'm still protected from the KV5. And the Black Prince has just lit himself up, which is another potential threat I've got to keep an eye out on. So it gets a bit tricky, but like I said, they're not really being anything clever, because all I had to do was, if they all drove at us, I would have been dead. As you can see, Indian Panzer still trying to fend off the KV5 and T150 down there, and I'm still here on my own fighting off these tanks. I'm quite surprised that none of them have actually aimed for the commander's cupola, which is extremely strange, which you may or may not know is a very soft spot on the Type 59, but you know, like I said, you can lead a horse to water. I decided to help out the Indian Panzer here on my side, but he's pretty much had it, and as you can see on the scores to the left, at the top left there, pretty much my team is winning at this point, and T34 is finally starting to move and help with the T-34 to help with the KV-5. Doesn't really make much difference, sadly, because he didn't particularly do anything special. But I'll leave it with him, and I'll go to take on this Black Prince. Now, this tank, the Black Prince, shocked me a little bit. I didn't realise its frontal was as strong as it actually is, or its armour in general is as good as it actually is. I can't say I've ever played one, but anyways, I was pleasantly surprised that it is quite a strong frontal hull. However, like I said, it does have weak points, namely, as you'll see, is aim here, straight for the machine gun port every time, and I'll just keep face hugging him. That way he was not going to be able to penetrate my frontal turret as he keeps doing. Yet I will keep happily blasting into the front of his. Now, as you can see at the bottom there, I am running very low on ammo, down to 8 rounds left now, and with KV-5 is starting to lose his temper, but such is the way people happen. I have the ARL-44 there trying to tell us how to shoot it. I think it should be quite clear by now that I've known how to shoot it and have been shooting it the correct way. Now, this is where I run a little bit of conundrum. Do I go and help the T-34, who's on 900 health, or do I go in, try and take the artillery and flank around all their tanks on the 0 line? And I'm not quite sure which to do. But we also do have a Hellcat still at the sniper spot, I'll call it. I personally prefer to call it Noob Hill, but we do have tanks there. We still do have a Hellcat there, and the DB's lit up, so I'm reasonably assured that their tanks have gone that way. However, Hellcat has now just been killed, and I think he done the grand sum of 0 damage left. There we go, you can see it's telling the rest of my team that I am down to 6 shells left, and at the top of my screen there, 4,350 damage done. So 4,530, I believe it says. Anyways, I'm not really a stat whore, so to speak. I personally prefer to win the game without getting any kills, just doing lots of damage if possible, but some people may disagree, some people might not. You know, that's just each and every one to their own opinion. Now, the T-28's come back up, so I know I'm not going to penetrate him with a standard ammo of, I believe, 170mm penetration, maybe it's 175, so I decided to try and use gold. Not a major increase, but not much more I could do. However, this is where I went a bit wrong. Instead of using a gold ammo on the T-28, I decided to shoot the Hummel. And whilst I should have rushed the T-28, he does have the top gun, and I'm a bit worried that because of my health I'm in borderline one-shot territory. So last gold shell, yeah, there we go, fails to penetrate, so down to 3 standard rounds of ammunition left now, which, as you can see, the KV-13's turned up, and the RNG starts trolling us again. Now, took a big hit there, but as you can tell by now, game is pretty much already over. As with T-34, just doesn't seem to know what he's doing, which is a shame really, because if he had have got hull down, we could have had a good chance to win. But there's the shot that killed us. Now, this is my first one upload, rather, that I've done commentary on, so please forgive my stupidity, stuttering, and all the various other things. Oop, I'll just skip to the T-34 here just to show you how phenomenal he's played. Because let's just say he he may have got 3 kills, but at the end those 3 kills were low health targets that he finished off. So he didn't exactly play a blinder. However, I think, like I stated at the beginning, I ended up this game with 183,000 credits and 1,500 experience for a loss. And that is not the 300,000 credit bonus or anything else along those lines. But thank you for watching, and I shall upload more as I get them.